Hello, I'm Sal Barry. A lot of you know me from Puck Junk or the Puck Junk podcast, or maybe you've read some of my writing with the hockey news. So what I'm going to start doing now is I've always wanted to do pack break videos, and in fact, I used to do them back in the early 2010s. I opened some OPC packs back then, some vintage OPC packs. But I'm kind of starting this whole thing over, this whole pack break thing. So I figured I would start with one of my favorite sets. So I'm going to be opening a pack of 90-91 Pro Set hockey cards. So this is one of my favorite sets of all time. It is junk wax. These boxes you could buy pretty cheap. The cards are still not worth a lot, but there are a few diamonds in the rough. Now this particular pack, I don't know if you can see that, but you can almost see the top card through the wrapper. So earlier Pro Set Series 1 packs from 90-91, the wrappers were actually twice as thick. And the inside was gray, and then the outside was white. And they were like twice as thick. And then when they printed more of them later in the season, they went to these almost see-through wrappers, kind of like 90-91 Score. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this pack, and I'm going to see what I remember about the players that are inside of it. And hey, if all goes well, maybe I'll get a really cool, rare card. So let's see. All right, so much for trying to open that nicely. And Pro Set, there's no gum, so I won't be tempted to eat it. And also this has a special offer for a Pro Set t-shirt, which obviously has expired. So, all right, let's see what we got here. All right, well, the first card we get is the 10-cent discount card. And so the idea behind this was you'd collect these. Pro Set had a catalog, and then you could order merchandise from the Pro Set catalog, and you could get up to 50% off if you sent them a bunch of these coupons. They had hockey jerseys, they had t-shirts, they had binders, they had all sorts of good stuff in their catalog. And by the time I got around to sending them an order with a whole mess of these 10-cent off coupons, they stopped doing the catalog, and they actually sent back my money order or my check or whatever and said they were no longer doing this. And I was pissed because I probably spent $3 sending them a whole brick of these things that I had accumulated from 90-91 and 91-92 Pro Set packs. So, okay, the 10-cent off coupon. All right, next up we have Steve Duchesne, one of the guys back in the early 90s to actually wear a visor. Yeah, all right, let's see here. And he's a defenseman. I should have remembered that. He was a good defenseman for the Kings and for a number of other teams. All right, we got here Craig McTavish of the Edmonton Oilers. So Craig was one of the last guys to go without a helmet. Actually, he was the last guy to play without a helmet. I interviewed him for the Hockey News for an article called Helmet Holdouts, where I talked to many of the last guys to go without helmets, and he was one of them. And this card, so Pro Set, sometimes they'd have a different picture on the back, but in this case, it's the same exact photo on both sides. So maybe you feel a little ripped off there. Okay, Dave Tippett. All right, he's a coach nowadays. I think with the is he with the Coyotes? I can't remember. But anyways, funny how many ex-Whalers, Tippett and Quenneville and Samuelson was an assistant coach, and Kevin Dineen was an assistant coach. How many ex-Hartford Whalers are in management now? It must have been something in the water in Hartford. Oh, okay, so now this is actually a pretty good card, this next one. It's not the Stanley Cup hologram. Okay, this is Dave Manson, but this is the corrected version of the card. The uncorrected version of the card pictured Steve Conroy. And that Manson card with Conroy are a dime a dozen. You can find them easily. In fact, if you buy a complete set, it probably has the Steve Conroy as Dave Manson card. This is the corrected version that actually shows Dave Manson. And they used a different picture on the back as well. So this is actually a pretty tough card to find. This is a solid $4 or $5 card. Now think about that. Most Pro Set cards are worthless. So a $5 Pro Set card and it's Dave Manson. It's not like a rookie card. It's not a card of Gretzky. It's just a tough card to find. It's not impossible to find, but it is tough to find. So that's actually a really good card to get in this pack. The President's Trophy for the 89-90 Boston Bruins. So the award winner cards were really nice. They had shiny silver borders, and then they had a very nice photograph of the award. Pro Set really did a great job on this set. All right. Wendell Clark, popular player with the Maple Leafs. He was their captain. He later played for the Red Wings and the Nordiques and the Blackhawks and the Lightning. So he was around, but he very popular Maple Leafs captain. Mike Lalore, St. Louis Blues. Can't remember too much about him. I do remember seeing a lot of games, Blackhawks and Blues in the 90s, but I don't remember too much about Mike Lalore other than the name. John Druce, the Druce is loose. So Druce had a really good playoff. Was it 89-90 or 90-91? It was one of those years that he did really well in the playoffs. And so I remember the Hockey News had a headline that said Druce is loose. And I thought that was kind of funny. But, I was 14. Dave Lowry, another member of the Blues from the early 90s. Jan Erickson, New York Rangers. Ulf Dahlen, Minnesota North Stars. I like this card. I like the way the North Stars, not only the way their jerseys look, but one nice thing about the Pro Set cards is that the borders complemented the logo and the uniform colors. So it's just a very colorful card with the green and the yellow. Every team having different colored borders. Theoren Fleury, one of my favorites. Loved watching him play in the 90s. He was 5'5", and he played like he was 6'5", and hit everything that moved, and was just such an exciting goal scorer. All right, Brian Propp, Boston Bruins. Joe Mullen from the 1990 All-Star game that was held in Pittsburgh. Terry Karkner, Philadelphia Flyers. And finally, Daryl Sittler, Hall of Fame for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So you'll notice that there are actually quite a lot of cards in this pack. I should have probably prefaced that. There are 15 cards in this pack. No gum, but lots of cards, and then the special offer card. So you really got a lot for your money back in 1990 with Pro Set hockey cards. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this pack break. Be sure to like and subscribe, and check back frequently for more videos. I'm going to try to make this a pretty regular happening. Thank you for watching.